Yeah, that's right, Jen. And Governor Lamont has proposed a balanced budget on time. But here's the thing. He's got to close a $1 billion budget deficit. So how's he going to do that? Well, three ways. He wants to raise revenue, wants to use federal stimulus money, and he wants to use some money from the state's rainy day fund. A state budget is more than line items. It's about priorities. Chief among them, COVID-19.
Build on our $500 million investment in a robust testing program and continue to ramp up our COVID-19 vaccination program.
The governor warned of prison and nursing home closures, Republicans supporting a seat at the table.
We have seen the detrimental impacts of social isolation on our senior population and our most vulnerable residents. The voices of our seniors and their advocates have been silenced.
Lamont says he will continue to support struggling small businesses,
with the hope that this time the vaccine will make the recovery more permanent.
Governor Lamont is proposing new streams of revenue, too, legal recreational cannabis.
These additional revenues will go to distressed communities, which have been hardest hit by the war on drugs.
It would also expunge criminal records for marijuana drug convictions.
It comes with a great cost. As we know, there is addiction that's associated with it and other societal ills that we'll have to pay for. So I don't see that as a revenue gain. I see that as a wash at best.
Lamont also wants money from sports betting.
My administration has been in active negotiations with our tribal partners.
The tribes want exclusive rights.
It's time to modernize that structure and to help prop up our casinos that have been so devastated by the pandemic.
Fixing the broken special transportation fund. Tolls never mentioned. Two revenues proposed. Money from a multi-state climate initiative Republicans say would lead to a gas tax and a tax on big tractor trailers.
And apply only to those larger heavyweight trucks, which can cause the vast majority of the damage to our highways.
Republicans say the budget includes several hidden taxes.
We believe that a better way requires property tax relief for middle-class families.
Lamont says he will hold the line on money to cities and towns, continue to level fund schools, recruit minority teachers, lower health care costs, increase broadband internet access, and modernize and digitize state government.
Now let's get to work.
And remember here that the legislature also has the opportunity to propose their own budgets. Republicans worry that the governor's budget relies a little too much on that federal stimulus money when we don't know if or how much we are getting. It also does appear that Governor Lamont resisted calls from the more progressive wing of his own party when it comes to a so-called mansion tax. And while it's important to point out that Governor Lamont did not propose any new taxes, he did continue some taxes on businesses and retired teachers that otherwise would have been set to expire. We are live in Hartford outside the state capitol. Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
Matt, thank you. From our state capitol to our nation's capital.